Hello and welcome to the Plays the Thing. My name's Matt. Welcome to this live stream of more Mythwind on a hot, humid evening in London. It was very sunny today and quite warm, and then it rained. It was almost tropical for quite a while, really heavily, and now it's really warm. So I'm continuing my playthrough of Mythwind, but I decided, as in the poll I took two of the characters won, that I would play the Ranger this evening. And I think the Ranger, it says that they're the same difficulty, but I think this might be more difficult. Yeah, so 3 complexity. The ranger's goal is to explore and collect resources for the town. The ranger spends their time preparing for and embarking on expeditions through the valley. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I will now show you the board. So we've got our town board as normal. I've jigged things around from last time. We've got our other board up here. And we have the ranger down here. And basically the ranger is going to go on expeditions and collect resources and come back to town and spend those resources during his town action. And actually he can stay out through multiple days on an expedition, not doing town actions and not doing actions on his board. So basically the actions on his board and skills and such like, he increases stock. So his stock is the items that he takes out on expeditions. He increases stock and sells various different goods and uses them to get money and to improve things in the town. Also, he has a track here, and oh god, I just looked what it was called and now I've forgotten. It is the inventory track, and this determines how many items he can take on his expeditions. So, I'll just move this a little bit. That's good. So as you can see here, here's the track. So at the moment I can take 4 items, and then as I upgrade I pay these costs, and it moves up, and eventually he could take 10 cards on expeditions. Also, expeditions do, we can choose whichever expedition length we want, so light, short, medium, long, grueling. And they do suggest doing a light mission in your first round, in your first turn. So I might do that, but I think I might get some sprites first because I don't have any sprites. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to alter this camera, excuse me, sorry, just so I can show you this half of the board so we can look at these while we're doing expeditions. Okay, so let's begin, and I will explain as we go. So, as always, dawn, we determine weather. So we draw a weather card, and it's rain. And also the weather affects the ranger on expeditions as well, and I'll show you how that happens. It's rain, and obviously we don't have 3 days out yet, so this won't do anything. We're back to spring, by the way. This is year 2. But there is an event symbol on there, so we will look at the next event. And it's called Working Together. The town is really working together to get things done. There's some real momentum happening now. Immediately complete construction on a building of your choice in the construction queue. If there are no buildings in the construction queue, you may construct Use the construct action as its normal cost and immediately complete construction on that building. Well, because we've had no turns yet, there is nowhere for a building to be built. So unfortunately, we can't do that. And I think it says when you can't complete one of these that you select a new one. So we're going to do that. I'm going to shuffle it back in. Because it's not very fair we lose that. So let's look at this one. A unique history. Some rabbits hop by with tiny antlers in front of their floppy ears. Anticipating some questions, Fix explains. Have I told you about the elves? They looked after the valley ages ago. Thing is, a bit of elves magic rubbed off on many of the creatures, the deers, the birds. She points at the hopping bunnies. The rabbits. She gestures to the forest. The trees grew bigger, the fruit more plentiful. It was a great time to be in the valley. Not that I was there. She winks. Okay. Shuffle in events 127 and 129. Okay. There are a lot of event cards. 127 and 129. Okay. So we'll do that. And it says if you have more if you have more villagers than sprites, no, we don't. Otherwise, shuffle in event 64. Okay. Lots of events going in. And there we go. So I am going to do a town action first because I want some of these. So I'm going to come here and I have 10 coins. I'm going to spend 5 and I think I'm going to get 1 of each. I know that this is only level 2, but I just want some because you quite often come across where you need to use sprites or villagers on an expedition. So I'm going to do that. So that's my town action. And now I get to perform a character action. So we can gain 1 of these resources and we can go anywhere because we got a sprite and a villager. So I think we can get any of these. So we have wood, we have an axe, axe, compass, progress, backpack, rifle, and trap. And at the start of the game, I have 1 of each of these. So I think, well, we can see what cards are at the top here. Now, these are the cards we're going to select. Oh, you still can't see them. These give us a hint of what's coming next, and we'll probably do a light expedition, which will mean we'll get 2 1s and 1 2. So we have rifles and traps that are probably will be on these cards. Gives us a little hint. So I think we will. Let's get I don't really know. Let's get a backpack. So backpacks are items as well, even though they're on the other side of the card. Obviously, they're items. Item cards. Item cards represent each item card is double-sided and has a tool on one side and a good on the other. There are 4 tool and good pairings that appear on opposite sides of the same card, and 1 card with a tool on each side of the same card as follows. Yeah, so we can have a backpack, so we will. So I'm going to move these out of the way again. And that's the end of our action. We can't do any of these. We could do a town action, actually, with a sprite. So you know what I am going to do? I can go to any... let me just check this. Any building is going to be... After all captures, the building alignment must match the type of work that was decreased. The decreased worker is placed in the building being used. Yeah, so it would have to be a building. So I think I won't do that. Okay, so that's the end of my character action. So now we can perform sprite actions as well. And I think... I'm going to get another trap. So we take a trap card from here and put it in our stock. And that's all I'm going to do. So at dusk, we return our character, return our worker. And that's the end of the day. So new day, we draw another card. And it's sun this time, and it is another event. So we draw an event card. No other weather actions are gonna go. So this is a stuck merchant. The road into the valley isn't well marked, and a merchant has gotten lost. Now his cart is stuck in a rut, and he can't get out on his own. Maybe a worker can help dislodge the cart. If so, the travelling merchant will happily provide the villagers with some wares. So we can reduce one of these workers and gain 1 food. And I don't see any reason not to do that, because one of these will go down to 0 and they get re-rolled. So we get 1 food. So food goes up to 4. And now, we should have decided before this to go on an expedition, but that's what we've decided. So we're going on an expedition. So we're going to set up for a light expedition, which is a 2 level 1 cards and 1 level 2 card. And we set up the expedition, choose the difficulty, shuffle, place the expedition cards. Okay, and then we place it out here. So this is the order the expedition is going to go in. We place our ranger above the first expedition card. And then we decide which of our stock we're going to use. And we can only use 4 of them. So the cards suggest an axe, a rifle, and a trap. And there might be something within the order as well. So it's probably best to go axe, rifle, trap. And I think I'll put a compass out as well. So these 2 will go back to my stock. So once we've done that, we reveal the expedition card where the ranger is located. And we look first at this. So if it was a rainy day, which is not, it's sunny, we would get this item. So we would get a compass added to the end of our track. But it's not a rainy day. Yeah, sorry, just checking rules. So what we do first is we look at these columns. Now, there are 2 different kind of things we can resolve. We can resolve exploration and preparation actions. So we look at the first one, so we're just dealing with this first one, and there is an axe at the top. Below it, there is a preparation icon, this circle, which means if we have an axe in the same position as this one, we will get to do this action. So we have to spend the axe. Sorry, that's not true. We just have to have it in the same position. And we do. So this means that we can change around any 2 cards. I don't need to do that because nothing has changed that shows me that I need to move these. And then we actually perform the action. So we're going to, if we use 1 axe, we get wood. So using this axe, we will get some wood, which is stuff we need to sell later on when we're back in town. So I am going to use it, and I don't just discard it. Because this card has wood on the back, I turn the card over, and it is now a good. So we now have wood. So we've completed that part of this expedition card. So then we move on. And these are all optional things we can do. So if we had a backpack anywhere, we could restock, which is, I don't know myself. The ranger exchanges any number of item cards from their inventory with the same number of item cards from their stock, adding them to the right of their inventory. So that's a shame because, well, we can't do this anyway. So we haven't got that. So we choose not to do it, and there's no penalty below it. So that's fine. So then we move on, and we have progress. I do not have progress. If we did, we would be able to do this action, which is diverge the path, which means we put out 2 other cards. And we can go down either path, basically. I'll show that when it happens. And because we haven't got this, so we can't discard it, we have to pay the penalty for this one. And this penalty is damage. So the ranger removes an item card of their choice from their inventory, placing it on its deck. If the ranger cannot remove an item card and their inventory has no cards, they are exhausted. So we have to take an item out. Now, I know that we need probably rifles and traps. So I'm going to discard this compass. So that goes back. And that is the end of this day's expedition. So now we move this on. And that's it. We go to dusk. So we don't have to return any workers or characters because we're on an expedition. So we go to the next day. And we have a cloud. So we've got rain, sun, cloud. Oh, and we have that here. And that is 1 up on production. So that's good. Sorry, you can't see that. Yeah, so we've moved 1 up on production. And we also have another event. So we've got all the event cards coming out at the start. So this event is weather forecast. The farmer looks to the sky and assesses what kind of weather is upcoming. Look at the next weather card. If it has any of the following, apply the appropriate effects. Okay. So it is cloudy. So we move down a sprite to 2. And it has an event again. So we gain 1 culture. Put the weather card back on top of the deck, so we know that's going to be a cloud and an event. And that is that event card. So now it's our second day of our expedition. So we flip this one over. And if it's cloudy, we get 1 progress. So it is cloudy. So we get to put 1 progress at the end. So now, the first part of this, we have a rifle, and we have the preparation action here, which is to gain 1 hide. But this is in the first position, and this card is in the first position, so we do not get that. But we can discard this to activate this symbol, which is craft a tool. The ranger may discard any 2 tools from their inventory to gain a different tool of their choice. The ranger can place the new tool in any position in their inventory. Okay. So I could do that, but I'm going to be running out of tools if I do that. Because I'd have to discard this to do that, and then discard these 2 to get another tool. I think I prefer not to do that. So next we move on to the second part, which is an axe. So if there's an axe in the second section, we would activate this preparation action. But there isn't. So it doesn't activate. And then we could discard an axe, but we don't have one. So then we move on to the third section, which is a trap. So we do have a trap. So we're going to discard this trap and make a hide. So we flip that card over and it becomes a hide. So we don't have to do that forfeit. So that is the end of our second day of expedition, and we move on. So you can see how we're accumulating goods as we go. So that's the end of our expedition for today. And dusk happens, and we go to the next day and draw another card. So we know what this is going to be. It's going to be a cloud. So we've got sun, cloud, cloud, which is nothing in spring, but it's another event. And this event is Signs of the Past. It seems strange now to think back to a time when the town wasn't regularly visited by sprites. They're not commonplace yet, but can often be seen here and there, mostly keeper sprites, but you do see the others sometimes too. If that's not strange enough, some of the old stoneworks you've found across the town include carvings of even stranger creatures, what look like elves, centaurs, gnomes, and a pair of hairy figures. They all seem to be caring for the valley in the depictions. Where are they now? Gain 1 culture, so up to 5 culture now, and shuffle in event 65. Okay. I'll just shuffle those. Got quite a lot of event cards now as well. I need to go on an adventure. We have lots of adventures to go on. Okay, so that's our dawn done. And now we go on our third expedition, which is a level 2 expedition. And we did have a trap, but we used it. So here we go. If it's cloudy, we can swap any 2 of our items. So unfortunately, none of these items correspond with anything here. So there's no point. So we look at the first one. So if we have a trap, we can, in the first position, we would get some food. But we don't, and we don't have a trap to discard. Nothing happens. We move to the second one. If we have a compass, we can discard it to get a map, but we don't. So we have a forfeit here, which is this red eye. The ranger reveals the next card in the expedition row. No, we can't do that because this is the last day. And then we have a backpack, but we don't have one to discard. So this... this is a bad forfeit because we are going to add 1 level 1 card to the journey. So these are going to move up and we're going to add another one. So we have to stay out another day. And then the last one is we use a sprite. So this sprite, we take 1 down to 2. And if we do that, we get 1 compass. So this compass goes at the end, which is pretty good. So that is the end of that day of expedition, and now we've got another one to do. So dusk happens, we come back home, and we go on to the next day. So as you can see, it's taking me a few days to do this, which is interesting. So we draw sun, so it's cloud, cloud, sun, which doesn't do anything, and there's no effect on the card. So we go to our last day of expedition. And discarding an axe, we can move cards around. We don't have it, so we're going to take damage here. I think we will discard this. So these move down. The central one is if we can discard a trap, we get 1 fur, hide, but we don't, and there's no penalty for that. And the third one is if in number 3 we have a compass, we will get a trap, but we're not in position number 3, we're in position number 4, but we can discard it to get a map. So that is the end of our expedition. So when the expedition ends, move the miniature to the town space. Move all of the cards in the inventory to the stock and end the expedition. So we get all these things back into our stock. And then these come back as well, actually. Well, they'll come back at the end of the in dusk. But then we also, and I think this is a new rule to kind of mitigate some of the ranger being away for so long. I feel like it helps the ranger a bit. We can complete a discover land action in town at no cost. So we can reveal, basically open up one of these spaces, which is good. I can't remember what this one was, but I'm going to do this one. So we get 1 food. And then we go to dusk, so we've returned our character. This comes back, and then these cards go back into the relevant decks and get shuffled back in. So now I need to do town actions and stay in the town because I don't have that many tools. So if we look here, I have wood, hides, I have progress, maps, trap, and I have a backpack as well. So I can sell these things to get stuff, and I will also be able to restock. So I'm going to put these on top. So that is the end of that day. So we go to the next day and draw a weather card. Ah, great. I'm so glad I did that. Remember to do that. So it's a cloudy day. So we have cloud, sun, cloud, which is here, which is progress on the construction queue, which is funny because now we've got 2 of them. So the tavern we can build. This can go here, and we get another villager die. Got so many dice. And this one moves up. But then we also have another one here, but unfortunately we haven't cleared another space, so this lumberyard cannot be built. So it has to stay there. And now I'm going to do a town action. So what do I want to do? Probably clearing another space would cost 5. I could build some sort of building. We can now build this actually, so I might build, I'm going to go into level 3. If I build, if I construct, I'll get some money, I think, as well. 1 money. And the church replaces the chapel. And I could sell something. I have maps to sell. Hides I couldn't sell, but I could sell wood as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go here and construct. And so we're going to construct the church, which goes in the construction queue at level 3. And we have to pay 1 income, 3 food, and 4 culture. There's something else I was thinking of there. What was I thinking of? Oh yes, we get 1 coin because we used income. I think there was something else I was thinking of. Don't know. Okay, so now we do a character action. We don't have any skills yet. How do we do skills? Why is that like? Oh, yes, the longhouse, of course. Okay, so I can do one of these. Oh, I've done the wrong ones. That's fine. I can. What have I got? I have got a trap. Okay, I'm going to come here and do my character action and get 1 trap. So that goes into my inventory. And I don't have any skills. And then I can sell 1 hide. So this hide goes back into there to get 4 coins. I'm back up to 5. And then if I had other hides as well, and I could do these in any order actually, but if I can sell hides and one of my items to any tool, sorry, to get 2 of any tool. I think that's right. Spend a fur and any tool to gain any 2 tools. Yeah. Okay, and then we've done our character actions, so now we can do worker actions. I definitely need an axe. Yeah, definitely need an axe. So I'm going to put one of my workers here to get an axe. So that goes in my inventory. And I'm going to go here and get a rifle. That goes in my inventory as well. I want a rifle because rifles give me meat, and I need meat to upgrade my track so I can take 5 cards with me on expeditions. Okay, so that's the end of my daytime in the town. So we go to dusk, return. Oh, perfect. And now we go to the next day. So we have rain, and this is sun, clouds, rain, which does nothing. How many days have we got left? 1, 2, 3. Wow, we've gone through this so quickly. So I think I should go on another expedition. So I will go on an expedition. So then we will set up. So question is, do I want to do light? Sure, I can take 1, 2, 3, 4 things again. And if I do, I'm only going to do level 1 and 2. So we've got a trap and an axe, which I've got both of those. Maybe I'll do a light one again. So we get 2 level 1 cards and 1 level 2. Shuffle them together. A 1, 2, 3. So we've got an axe, and a trap. So I'll definitely go axe. And then maybe I want to get meat. So let's put a rifle down. And what was... Put progress. And a trap. I have got 2 traps actually. So maybe I'll do this. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know the cards well enough yet. Okay. So we're on an expedition. So now we explore. Flip this card over. This is the level 2 card. If it was sunny, we will get a compass, but it's not. So there's an axe here. So we can discard an axe to get wood. So this one flips over and becomes wood. Ooh, oh, I wish we'd done that now. So we have progress. If it was in the second spot, we would get a benefit, but we don't get that, so nothing happens. If we have a rifle, we get food, so we do, so that flips over. And then if we had an axe, if it was in the fourth spot, we would get a map. And we don't have an axe at all in any spot, so we can't get that wood. So that is the end of that day. Okie dokie. So it's dusk, so we go on to the next day. And, oops, sorry, we draw sun. And again, we progress on the construction track, but we can't build that lumberyard because we haven't cleared off another space. But the church moves up. Okay. So now we go to the next day. And we have an axe. And we can't discard an axe, so we do take... oh, it's cloudy day. No, we don't get that. We do take 1 damage. So unfortunately, I have to discard one of these traps. And the next one is a trap. But because I know there's a trap here, I think I'm not going to suffer any penalties. So I think I'm just going to skip these two. I'm not going to do them. Yeah, I'm not going to do them. So that's the end of the day. And we go on to the next day. And it's sunny, and we have the sprite action. So we've got rain, sun, sun, which doesn't activate anything. And the sprite action, so we change fix over with bouquet, which I still think is funny name. And now we move on to our third expedition day. And this flips over. Okay, so we can use a sprite to get wood, so we will do that. And we get some wood, so this wood goes at the end. And then we have a trap. And if the trap was in the second spot, which it isn't, we would be able to move things around, but we do get the fur. So we've made 4 goods. And then the final one is a compass, which we don't have, so we don't do that at all. So that is the end. So we get all these back. And then for free, we can clear a path. So let's do that. And let's clear this spot here. Oh, let me show you. So we get 1 culture. Okay, and we return. This goes back into the pool, and these cards I shuffle back in. Yeah, so we need to be able to take more cards, definitely. So that is the end of the day. So next day, which is the last one? Yeah. Ah, okay, it's raining. So we've got sun, rain. Doesn't activate anything for spring, but we do move up on this track. So we have a lumberyard now, and the church moves to 1. Wow, we've got a lot of buildings going on. And then we can do a town action. So I definitely want to do this, and I can, but I want sprites as well. So I'm going to get sprites. I'm going to spend 5 to get 2 sprites, which will let me do whatever I want on my character action. And I'm going to do this middle action. So I can spend sprites to do another building action. Ooh, that would be good. So what I can do, I need the meat to do this, but I could do a longhouse action. Yeah. And get wood. I can do any of these. So these skills, the level 1 skills, which are the ones I can afford. This reveals a tier 1 expedition, shuffle the card back into the deck face up. So when it comes out, it will be face up, which would be quite good. I think I might get that one actually. That requires 5 coins and wood. Yeah, and I can do that. Okay, so. Ooh, it's complicated. So. I'm doing this action. So I get one of these, a backpack or progress. So I don't know, I'll get progress. And then we activate these 2 in any order. So I'll do this one first. So I'm going to move up this track here. And we have to pay the cost. So let me show you. So the cost is 5 gold. Ah, no. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that skill action, unfortunately. I want to get this track moved up. So I'm going to spend 5 and 1 meat. So this meat goes back. And I get to move up this track by 1. So now I can take 5 cards with me on an expedition. Which is good. I've got a lot of goods. And I can get some more items as well with my sprites and villagers. So that's all I can do. I thought I would have the other 5 to do this, but I don't. That's fine. So now I can do sprite actions, villager action, worker actions. Okay, so I need other things. I've got backpacks and rifles, so I will get a rifle. And I might as well get something else, so I think I'll get a compass. And that's all I can do. So then we return character and workers, and that's the end of the day, and we can't draw another weather card. So we've got to the end of the first season, and yes, that's interesting. It's very much away from the town, and I have a lot of items here. I've got 2 wood, and the thing is, you can do these multiple times. So if I did this as a character action next time, I could get 4 coins for these 2 wood. I've got 3 wood actually now. So yes, you can do these things multiple times. Certainly the money you can. Yeah, so I kind of need to be using the goods that I've made to get more stuff and then go on an expedition. And I guess the expeditions as well, you can so these are 3 days, this is 4 days, 4 days, 5 days, so you can tailor those as well to the number of days left for the weather. I think I'm not sure what happens if you are out on an expedition at the end of a season. I guess you stay out, right? Not sure. Might have to check that. Oh, look at that. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to finish there today because that took a lot of my brain power. Hello, Christopher Castillo. Which one are you liking more so far? Oh, I mean, to be fair, I've just started playing this. I find this a bit weird in terms of you are out when you're out on expeditions. That's your day, so you're not doing anything. Like going on adventures is hard because you've only got, how many cards have we got in the weather now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 rounds. So, you know, if you go on one of these short expeditions, you can only do a couple, and then you've got to restock. What I should do is the end of round stuff, shouldn't I? So yeah, I'm not sure. End of season. End of season. Resolve end of season actions. So, we have the building effect. So, the post office gives us 1 success on our thing, but we've already got that success, I think. We get 1 culture. And I think that's it. No, it's not 1 success, is it? What was that? Post office. At the end of the season, draw an additional goal card before choosing the season goal. That's what that means. But we've done that goal anyway. Resolve goal cards. Okay. So the goal card is discover 1 land for every character, which we have. So we gain 1 production. And we shuffle in goal 9. So because we've got the post office, we get 3 cards to choose from. One, 2, 3. So the total value of sprites at the tower must be 10 or higher. Well, that's an easy one for us. There must be 3 empty town locations. The highest town resource must be 4 higher than the lowest. Okay, we're going to go for the work of art. We've got so many sprites. Right, so we've done that. Reset the weather deck, so we will shuffle. I want to go on adventures. I mean, I can see why they've put that clearing spaces for buildings, because if you're playing solo, the ranger, you just like you need saves money, but also you need more opportunities to do things on the days where you are going to the town, you know. And a lot of the time you want to get sprites. Reset with the deck, change the season tiles. So we switch this over to summer. Regrow forest. Okay, so we're going to have to, this time, put one of these over a building. So we get all the tiles. So I think we'll choose this one. And which one don't we need? Oh, I haven't flipped this lumberyard to the right side. So the lumberyard or the tavern. What a wally. So the tavern, we decrease a sprite in our hand and pay 4 to get 1 income. The lumberyard is... I don't want to cover the tavern then. I think I'll cover the lumberyard. Okay, so what else? And that's it. So that is the end of the season. Yeah. I can't. I'm tempted to play another round. Did you say you've played this yet, Christopher? I think you haven't played it, have you? Yet. I got so many. I think what is interesting, I've got so many of these. Like, I could play at the start of the next season. I could use the general store. I don't have any money though. I've got to get money first. Maps are a lot of money. I definitely want to get to wood. I don't think I'm going to play another one. I would like to, but I shouldn't. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, they're very, 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 very different. Oh, I can take 5 cards though. I kind of want to. I tell you what, I might play like half a season, and then I'm supposed to be playing something else tomorrow. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to go. Sorry for being dilly-dallying around. Okay, I will keep playing the Ranger. Plan is to play them all, really, I guess. Obviously, the Farmer is supposed to be the easiest, and the Merchant is supposed to be the hardest. So, yeah, once I've played, maybe I should play a year of all of them and see how I go on. So we're just through one. We're into our second year, and yeah, there we go. I'm thinking. Okay, thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. I'm playing Marquis tomorrow because it's. I'm trying to put in some just non campaign type games as well. I do love the campaign games, but I'm trying to put some non campaign games in to my live streams as well. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.